Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
For this is what the Sovereign Lord says.
Why do you need prophets to tell people who you are and what you want?
If you can justify everything that the God of the Bible has done, then you can justify any of your behavior.
A lot of this mentality is trickling into what is now mainstream right-wing Christianity.
I am capable of empathy greater than this God of the Bible.
This is a Bible that they tell kids. This is the good Lord. This is the good book. He is fantasizing about murder, mass murder.
Head over to sacrilegiousdiscourse.com right now to find out how to leave us a review or support us on Patreon.
Hey there, sinners and saints. It's your favorite Bible-bashing duo from Sacrilegious Discourse, and we need your help.
That's right, folks. We're raising funds for some heavenly equipment and a studio that doesn't sound like it's in the depths of hell.
Our current setup, let's just say it's more apocalypse than audiophile.
So if you want to hear us dissect the Bible without the background noise of demonic squirrels, chip in a few bucks.
We're aiming for $5,000 to upgrade our audio and build a studio worthy of blasphemous banter.
Donate today and help us spread the good word of atheism.
You can find a link right on our homepage, sacrilegiousdiscourse.com. Every dollar counts.
Even if it's from your collection plate. Husband!
Wife!
What are we still up to right now?
Well, earlier today, we started our first in a series of Xmas Eve, not Xmas Steve, which is us going over things that people might say at Christmas dinner.
And the ways that you could respond.
Right.
If you ain't about that shit.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, the line is taken from it's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
Yeah.
So that's,
to be anti-gay,
right?
As the homophobes do be.
Yeah, not great shit. And yesterday we covered that, as well as I'm not homophobic, but and they're shoving it down our throats. Why do they have to make it their whole personality?
Ooh.
But we're gonna cover more today. We did this in two parts because we ran out of fucking time to cover all the bullshit responses and things you could say to respond to those things if they get said. So we're gonna do some more,
some more of that. Some role playing.
Yeah, that's the thing. Hope everybody's having a good holiday and surviving through this as your secular selves and others. And we have some folks who are Christian who listen to us, actually. So I hope you're all having a wonderful holiday. And I hope your families are wonderful and you don't have to use these tactics.
Happiest of the time of the year, whatever holiday you celebrate, or winter if you don't.
Right. Winter solstice, Festivus, fucking just celebrate something. Science. I don't know. You don't have to celebrate anything, actually, but
Happy Math Day to you. I love the number pi.
If someone's serving some good food, though, I'm going to eat it. That's my theory.
Yeah.
All right. You ready to do this?
I am. Sure as fuck.
Let's do it.
Okie dokie. All right. Before we jump into these, I do have another contribution from Kid. Yesterday's, it was to point and laugh and go, ha ha, and dinky, and
right,
and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is always fun. Another thing that Kid said that you could do is to adopt one of those 1920s voices and say, what are you, one of those queers? I don't know. They just thought it was funny.
I don't know about that one. Just to be clear, so those of you who don't know, Kid is our kid who is 21 and part of the LGBTQIA community. Yeah. So just wanted to make that clear in that, because it might not be based on that statement.
That is true. Kid is hardcore in the queer community and loves to make gay jokes, and
not at their expense.
No. Sorry, everything I'm saying is coming out wrong. They're saying gay jokes, but from a fuck you if you don't like the gay community.
Right.
Kind of perspective.
Owning it.
Yes. Right. And that's why sometimes I'll do something that irritates them and they'll just turn to me and be like, one of those quiz, and it's just funny to them, and that makes it funny to me.
I got it. But I felt like I had to clarify.
No, you're right. So I'm just telling you that kid is in the queer community, and they suggested that as a possible comeback. You do you. Yeah. If you're not comfortable with that.
But
but it is funny. In my opinion.
I will not be using that one.
No.
I think you have to be in the queer community in order to use that one.
So I could use it.
I wouldn't. But that's just me.
I might, because boomers don't get things. They don't get anything.
Right, which then has to lead to a more It's just not a great I don't think that's a good one.
So that circles back around to the point and laugh.
Sure.
Which I really liked.
Yeah.
All right. So let us continue with what we were doing, which is your Uncle Steve.
Yeah, the bad or the MAGA bird, whatever.
The MAGA head, the dude bro.
Right.
Yeah. So you go ahead and say a line, and I will give you possible things you could say back.
Right. What about the kids? The schools are indoctrinating them.
Okay. First, I'm going to give you a translator. When Uncle Steve says, "What about the kids?" What he's really saying is, "I don't like this, so I'm borrowing children as an emotional shield."
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, because he's so scared. Mm-hmm. When Uncle Steve says, "Schools are indoctrinating them," what he's actually saying is, "Schools are teaching kids values I can't control." And that
what?
Is,
you can't control?
Schools are teaching kids values that I can't control.
That you can't control. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It was very shaky.
Whiny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Steve is a big fat baby.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uncle Steve, the boomer, the MAGA.
Yeah.
The anti-gay homophobe. Mm-hmm. He's a piece of shit.
Well, he's at least indoctrinated the wrong way.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we went over some things that you could say regardless yesterday, which is like, yeah, we're not doing that over dinner. Pass the rolls.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Right.
There's also things like, let's not turn Christmas into a news cycle, shall we? Or channel check, Right. We're not doing that here. Or I'm not having this kind of conversation over the holiday meal guy.
Sure.
Yeah. Which I love all of these because they're like firm boundaries and somehow like not rude.
Yeah.
Even though you're like, nope.
Right. Yeah.
So like, I also like we're totally not gonna agree about this and I don't want to fight. So let's just pick a new topic, shall we?
Right.
Move it right along, you know? I also like if you really want to talk about kids, let's talk about the kids in our family. Oh my God. Rather than like culture talking points.
Sure.
Like memorized Fox News bullshittery.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, so how are your kids anyway? Oh, Uncle Steve, you don't have any because nobody wants you. Oh my God. That's so funny.
No wonder you're so angry.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you should check yourself before you've already wrecked yourself.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But if you're wanting to like change the topic, that's cool too. You can be like, what's the funniest thing a kid has said recently? Like, remember when we were kids and there was that show, Kids Say the Darndest Things or Kids Say the Funniest Things?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like kids do say some funny shit.
They do.
So
they do.
Like you can turn to, the parents at the table near you will surely have stories.
I guarantee it.
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you just get them started and they will take over the conversation and then you can quietly leave.
Yeah.
And, maybe throw some spitballs or frozen peas at Uncle Steve's, the back of his head.
Sure.
And then run. Pretend it wasn't
guess.
you.
I don't know that that's a great plan.
No.
But, whatever. You do you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another way to divert is to we said yesterday one thing to do was to ask everybody, oh my God, what's your favorite Christmas movie? But since we're talking about kids today, what's your favorite animated Christmas movie?
Yeah.
Because there's like Rudolph.
Right.
Like, who doesn't love Rudolph?
Right.
You
Yeah.
know? And then there's like the Charlie Brown Christmas special. So,
Right.
you know, you got some preloaded in your pocket.
Yeah.
Preloaded. And then, you know, you can always, again, turn to the parents at the table and ask things like, you know, how is school going for Tiny Tim? You know, like, they're on break right now, I know, for Christmas, but like, how are they doing? I know that they were failing art before because they suck at art. How do you fail art?
Right.
Yeah. I say that because my kid's an artist. So, you know, my kid's awesome. And yours sucks. So
No, they don't.
No? Oh. I've been told that your kid doesn't suck. And,
Yeah.
And I need to take that right back.
Yes.
All right. Your kid doesn't suck. But my kid is better than your kid.
Oh my God.
What?
What is wrong with you?
What? Oh my God. My kid is the best. I mean, you know, you probably think the same is true of your kids.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything bad here. Oh my God. Okay. So, then we get into like indoctrination, right? Remember when Uncle Steve was like, they're indoctrinating the kids.
Yeah, they got a litter box in the bathrooms for the furries, right? You've heard that one.
Yeah. So
this is not true, by the way.
Totally not true.
Yeah.
If you're wanting to address that head on, you can say something like, if we're worried about indoctrination, churches literally run programs to shape kids' beliefs from birth. And that's like their whole model.
Yeah.
So kindly fuck off.
Right.
Like, you are... How very dare you speak about indoctrination?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Sunday school is literally belief formation. Youth group is literally identity formation. Vacation Bible school is literally a week-long immersion program.
Yeah.
Just, again, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot with that.
Right.
Then there's the fact that a lot of churches teach kids what to think about sex, gender roles, purity, obedience, and, you know, outsiders.
And not usually in a great way.
No. They teach them all of that before kids can even evaluate claims on their own, which is why a lot of times when kids get into college, they kind of turn liberal a little bit because... You know, they're like, oh shit, there's a whole world outside of what my parents taught me. And then the parents are like, those damn colleges with their liberal agendas, by which they mean those damn outside the church places where people can learn shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is the whole agenda.
Right.
Yeah. And fucking education. God damn it.
Yeah.
So if we're like actually worried about adults influencing children, that's not unique to schools.
Right.
Indoctrination comes from everywhere, and it's just a fancy way of saying it's something you don't like. They've been introduced to something that makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And uncomfortable things make us grow.
Right.
You know, we should be introduced to things that make us uncomfortable.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not saying that like hardship is a good thing, but hardship does shape us, you know?
Yeah.
So it's not that I wish hardship on anybody. I don't. But uncomfortableness is a good thing.
Right.
So Jesus talks a lot about humility and not being led by fear. So maybe we should start like thinking about what he would say if we're gonna like do the church thing.
I mean, if you're a shitty Christian, then, you know, like, and you're being an asshole towards people, then yeah, you should definitely look at your own fucking scriptures and what the intent is that you're told at church, and, you know, to be nice to people generally, and consider that, you know, like I'm not gonna, we haven't read the New Testament, and I will say that the Old Testament is full of crap that's not nice.
Right.
You know?
Lots of murdery, rapey
so
things.
I can't speak for the New Testament, but from what I have understood, there's more niceness in the New Testament, and maybe focus on that. Maybe focus on not being an asshole.
I mean, something you could always say is like, oh my God, I think you have something in your eye. And then, you know, when they stick their finger up there to try to get it out, you could get a little closer and say, oh, it's a mote. There's a mote in your eye, because that goes to that whole, you know, check your own mote in your eye before you start looking at other people's. It's that thing.
That would be lost on me. Yeah, I don't think that one's gonna work real well.
No, it would. There's a book called The Mote in God's Eye, and it's literally a play on that phrase that a lot of people are familiar with. You're not.
Sure. No, I get it, but I don't get the impression that a lot of the people that are quote unquote Christian and or Republican MAGA, a lot of them just kind of play at that. Well, they're not really that.
So then if they don't get it, then you can follow up with, oh, you don't know about the mote in God's eye? You might want to check your Bible.
Sure.
Before you say anything else to me.
Right.
If you don't know about the mote, then, we really can't have a conversation. You really got to check that verse out.
Sure.
And while you're at it, just read the whole fucking chapter. And since you're reading the chapter, you might want to read the whole book. And since you're reading the whole book, you might as well go ahead and read the whole New Testament. And since you're reading the New Testament, you might read the whole Old Testament while you're there. Mm-hmm. And then you might change your opinion about things.
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
All right.
Likely.
Yeah. Go ahead with what is the next thing that he might say.
Okay. They're confusing the kids.
They are. They're confusing the kids. Oh my gosh, that is so scary. I get the instinct to protect kids, Uncle Steve.
Yeah.
But kids can feel your panic and you're panicking. So you need to fucking chillax. Because kids will pick up on your panic and that's going to hurt the ones who are already scared or a little bit different. So you need to stop.
You're talking about the panic and because they're... I'm not sure what you mean.
Well, Uncle Steve, you're panicking. When you say, they're coming after the kids.
Okay.
I'm telling you, Uncle Steve, you need to fucking chillax and stop panicking.
Got it.
Because if you care about the kids, you're scaring them.
Sure.
By panicking.
Okay.
And you just told me that you care about them.
Right.
So you need to stop.
Yeah.
Take a breath. Okay? And don't worry about it also.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
When adults panic, kids totally absorb that shit. They learn who are the safe people that they can talk to and who are the not safe people. And you're a not safe person. So kids aren't going to talk to you.
Got it.
If you keep, panicking.
Right.
Yeah.
You gotta have your shit together.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I just hate this because I hate Uncle Steve.
I'm going to push back a little bit because I don't feel like when they say that they're always panicking. They're just saying it as a matter of fact, as a statement, as a fact. They're confusing the kids because they're saying they're teaching these kids about the LGBTQIA community. They're teaching them about empathy for those communities, and kids don't have the wherewithal to understand why we're talking about these other groups of people. And I call bullshit, but they really believe that.
I know.
They really think that. And moreover, I don't really I think the only real response to that is they're not confusing the kids. They're teaching them love and compassion.
They're teaching them that different people exist and that nobody should be fucking bullied for that.
Right.
What you learn in school, there's a place for everybody's a little different. That's how we're all the same.
Right.
I don't know. I just want to tell Steve to shut the fuck up.
Well, yeah, I think that goes without saying. Steve sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking boomer's gonna boom all the time.
Steve.
Yeah. Knowing that the LGBTQIA community exists is not fucking indoctrination.
Right. That's like saying that knowing that any other culture exists is indoctrination. We can't indoctrinate people. I mean, you can't.
Just because you want them to not exist, the world doesn't work that way. They're there whether you like it or not. They're there whether you think they should be or not. They exist.
Yeah.
They are people, and this is how they are, and that is fine, and that is okay.
And whether they like it or not, it is something that we have to deal with as a society. Mm-hmm. So that your opinion about that group of people is neither here nor there. They do exist.
Right.
And you Steve, you asshole, you cannot stop that from happening. So it is up to the rest of us to inform our kids on how to live in a world that has people in the LGBTQIA community and other communities, because they exist, because they are here, because they are your neighbors, because they're your family, because they're your friends, because they're people that we should care about, because they're human beings just like you and me.
Right.
And if you could get past your biases and your stereotypes, you would see that.
And it always comes to me, I've always just wondered, like, why are you so fucking concerned with what is happening in other people's pantses?
Right.
That's to me what the ultimate question is.
Yeah.
You are really fucking worried about crotches. And I just find that so fucking weird.
Sure.
You're concerned with what kind of crotch they have, and you're concerned with what they do with their crotch.
Yeah.
Like, that is what gender and sex is ultimately about, right? Your crotch, what kind of crotch you have, and what, if it's an innie or an outie, and what you do with it.
Right.
Generally speaking, like, very generally speaking. And I find it fascinating that other people are fascinated, because I want to not think about people's crotches.
Right.
You know?
I think it comes down again to it's easier to hate on a group of people and point at them for the problems in society than it is to try to be empathetic and accept a new reality. That's all that's what this is. They're unwilling to accept the new reality that is in front of them.
Yeah.
So
I think from now on, like, anytime some kind of anti-gay or anti-trans thing happens, I'm just going to ask point blank, so you're very concerned about their crotch, and can you explain that to me?
Right.
Like, I want to understand your fascination, for example, with my child's crotch. Why are you thinking about my child's crotch?
Right.
Or I'm bisexual. Why are you worried about my crotch?
Right.
Like, that's gross. Why are you thinking about my crotch? Could you not think about my crotch? Like,
yeah.
How many times can you say the word crotch before it stops even being a word, right?
But you're working on it.
I'm working on it.
Yeah. I do want to say that when I said that this is the new reality, I didn't mean to imply, just for the record, that this is not something that has existed for all time. What I meant to say, what I was implying, is that we have accepted it to the point in society at this point in history that people are safer coming out and safer being LGBTQIA in public. They're not safe, but they're safer.
Right.
And so
there's more safe spaces and safe people for them.
Right. So it is more in people's faces at this point, as they would say, but it's because we have become overall and in complete and total because of the liberal and progressive society that we have.
Right.
Not the MAGA side.
No.
So, but we are more accepting, and they are more visible now than they used to be when I was younger. So it is definitely, that's what I was referring to. I didn't mean to say that they didn't exist. They have always existed.
Of course.
I just wanted to clarify.
No, I appreciate you clarifying that. And it is true. They have always existed. Right. And we're just only now coming to terms with that, and like, oh shit, I didn't know. And now I do know. And the only question now is whether you act with empathy or you act with shame, and whether you teach empathy or you teach shame, and whether those people receive empathy or receive shame.
Yeah.
Those are the two options, you know? So yeah. As far as like confusing the kids are confused when you tell them that when you tell them to be nice and share and be nice to everybody, and Jesus is watching you and shit like that, and then you exactly don't act towards people the way that you just told them that they ought to be.
Well, yeah. I think that's, hypocrisy is confusing to everybody.
Right.
So,
like, the fact that different families look different, that's not confusing to kids. Kids are fine with that.
It's only confusing if you confuse them about it.
Right. Exactly. Like, your reaction is what's going to frame the conversation.
Right.
you could just not panic.
Sure.
Again, kids pick up on panic. So what if you just don't?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Usually confusion comes from the be kind paired with, but not to those people.
Right.
Like whatever those people are.
Yeah.
At one point, you know, it was people of color.
Yeah.
In some families it still is.
Yeah.
Which is just despicable.
Right.
Go ahead with the next thing that Steve might say at the dinner table.
Okay. Parents should decide.
Oh, should they? Should they, Steve? Parents absolutely shape values at home, but schools still have to keep all the kids safe while they're there together.
Right.
Like, you can't just only do one way for all the kids when every kid is different.
Yeah.
You know, you have to allow for every kid to be different, and you have to allow for teaching kids that every kid is different.
Well, I call bullshit when I like it. I don't. What are parents deciding? Are they deciding that we shouldn't be empathetic towards certain groups of people? Because fuck you.
Right.
Like, fuck you very hard.
Very hard.
Like, that's not you don't get to decide that we are allowed to be mean as a society to the persons or people that you don't like.
Right.
That's not how this works.
Exactly.
And I don't accept that answer.
That's why you get a lot of Christians homeschooling their kids.
Yeah, do it. Go for it. Homeschool. Sucks for those kids, but at least you're not bringing your shit into the public schools.
And by shit, it's not just the shitty attitude. It's usually the unvaccinated germs, too. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, stay at home, bruh. We don't care. Like, that's mean. That's mean to those poor kids that are being indoctrinated.
Yeah.
You know?
No, yeah, but they're going to be indoctrinated either way.
Right.
And they're going to, I'm not saying 100% of the time, but more often than not, those are the ones that are going to be the ones harassing people that are different than them. You know, and it's just, that's, I would rather them be homeschooled than bring that shit into the public schools, honestly. That's my personal opinion.
Where we have to cater to it.
Right.
As if it's the way, one way that's right and true.
If you're raising your family to be hateful, then keep that hate away from my kids.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Because every kid deserves a respectful environment. Yeah. And that goes for whether they are Christian kids or not Christian kids, Uncle Steve.
Right.
All the kids, you know, fuck off.
Yeah.
All right. What else might Uncle Steve say?
It's grooming.
Ugh. That word gets thrown around so fucking much.
Oh, yeah.
I hate it because we don't even hardly understand what that word means anymore in society, because we use it for, I don't like that. That's grooming.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not. Real grooming is about secrecy and control. And it's about teaching kids that unsafe things are safe.
Right.
And it's disgusting. You know, it's terrifying.
Yeah. And
it's not about teaching kids, let's not bully each other.
Right. No, empathy is not grooming. That's compassion. That's being human. That's, you know, existing in this world.
That's following Jesus's main lesson of let us love one another. Like that was, he said the greatest of these is love.
Sure.
Like he gave this whole list. I mean, again, we haven't read the New Testament.
Right.
But he gave this whole list of like, these are all the things that you should do, but the most important of these is love.
Right.
And bullying doesn't fit in there, Uncle Steve.
Right.
So fuck off.
Yeah.
If we actually care about kids not being groomed, we should focus on actual risk factors like abuse prevention and adult training to handle bullying, and how to counsel kids who are in the LGBTQIA community, safe reporting. We could talk about gun control and school shootings all day if we're actually worried about kids.
Yeah.
Like, you're more worried about a kid's crotch than you are about them getting shot.
Yeah.
That worries me, Uncle Steve.
Right.
I feel like your priorities are all fucking wrong.
No, and they absolutely are. Mm-hmm. That's a large part of this.
Like,
it's their priorities are whatever they're being told their priorities are. Mm-hmm. And so there's no real belief system behind it for these people. It's more about what is currently being spewed in the right wing, culture that is happening around them.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and that makes it very difficult to even have a legitimate conversation because they're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to think. Let me get back to you on that.
Well,
I gotta
even
go check my Fox News.
Yeah, and then even their facts are generally based on not facts. So like they may have quote unquote facts, but they're usually wrong or very skewed. So
what is so frustrating is when they repeat something that is quite obviously the talking point. Like for a while, I would tell my mom, I wish you would be more open-minded. And she would say, don't be so open-minded that your brain falls out. And I had literally just heard that phrase used like by Fox pundits.
yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
Well, I've heard that since I was little, but
But just the frustrating thing is that my mom doesn't realize that she's just repeating, like she's parroting lines that she heard. That were fed to her.
That's one of those lines meant to, as an older person, meant to cull the younger crowd. Like don't. It's an insult saying that you don't know everything.
Yeah.
And the problem is that the person saying it generally has stopped learning. So it's kind of exactly wrong. Like the whole situation is wrong.
It really is. What I find so frustrating about it is young people generally, and I'm not young, I just turned 50, but I'm not a boomer. So by that account, I'm younger than a boomer.
Well, and you still choose to learn. You still choose to research.
That's what I was going to say. Like, I would never say I know everything.
Right.
But a boomer is like, not only have I stopped learning, but I've learned all there is.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You think everything stopped at the last item that you learned.
Yeah.
And then nothing happened after that. And that's why you still can't even use a VCR, and VCRs went out. Like, seriously. Like, when you were a kid, could your mom figure out the fucking VCR?
It was my grandparents, actually, that I had a problem with that. But
my mom could not figure out the VCR. My dad had to do it.
Right.
And the remote control, it's like, you can't even figure out the fucking shit that came out when you were my age. And now, like, your brain has fucking atrophied. You've not taken in one new actual fact. And you're going to lecture me on intelligence and on what is wisdom and experience and what you know about the LGBTQIA community. You know fucking nothing.
Right.
Ugh. So what else is something that Uncle Steve might say at the dinner table?
Trans stuff. It's just a trend. Mental illness, social contagion.
Yeah. He might say all those things.
Yeah.
So when Uncle Steve says it's a trend, what he actually means is, I didn't notice trans people before, so I assume they just appeared out of nowhere.
Right. Yeah.
And the truth is, calling it a trend can turn someone's life into, like, you're minimizing it, and you're saying that their entire life structure is a fad.
Right.
It's nothing more than just a passing fad.
Yeah.
And that is so fucking dismissive. And when our kid came out to us, my mom said something about it being a fad, and I just turned to her and I was like, you know what? So what? Maybe it is, right? Like, I don't know how my kid's going to feel about things in a year. It turns out it wasn't a fucking fad.
Right.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But my thinking at the time was, let's say that you're 100% right and it's a trend and it's a fad. What does it harm anything to support them regardless, because they don't think it's a fad? They feel this way strongly 100%.
Yeah.
Just fucking support them.
Yeah.
Like, what is wrong with you? It's like if your kid came home and was like, I want to learn to play the drums. You wouldn't be like, That is the stupidest thing I ever heard, and it's just a fad, and I can't wait till this trend passes of people wanting to play the goddamn drums.
That's not true exactly. Some parents might actually say that about drums because they don't want the noise in their house. They don't like they're passing the buck. They're ridiculing the action because they don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, and that's wrong, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, no, it is.
You're a bad fucking parent if your kid comes to you and says, I feel this way enthusiastically about X.
Right.
Or I want to learn more about Y. Or I'm really confused about XYZ.
Yeah.
You know, if you shut that shit down and you turn your kid away and you poo-poo their enthusiasm, they're not going to come to you again.
Right. Your kid's trying to communicate to you.
You should be so happy.
Instead, you get angry at them for what they're trying to communicate.
Right. Whether it's, drums or being trans or gay, like, fuck you that you would poo-poo your child like that.
Yeah.
Like, why? Why would you do that? That's a human being. Your child is a human being.
Right.
And you're being so unsupportive.
Yeah.
With regard to it's a social contagion, which is like saying it's a fad and then making it even darker.
Yeah.
What you are basically saying is, I'm uncomfortable, so I'm going to use scary words that make it sound like a threat and a fucking disease.
Well, and I think a lot of this is pushed out there by, again, the right-wing media, and they're basing these ideas on the fact that there are more people coming out as trans and more people coming out as gay, and they see a lot more of it in society, right? Mm-hmm. But it's because of the left being accepting of this, mm-hmm. and society in general, overall of these cultures, of these people, of these ways of being, mm-hmm. like they're not new, but we finally are starting to accept them.
Mm-hmm.
And
as normalized,
right? As
it should be.
Yeah. And they see the acceptance as new, and they translate that to, the whole thing's new.
Right.
But it's not.
No.
It's just we are finally deciding to not hate these people.
Right.
Which is the way it should be. Like why would you ever think it's okay to hate anybody? Why is that okay? Why is putting somebody down for something that is different from you or a different culture than what you have, why would that ever be okay? I can't for the life of me understand that way of thinking, and I do understand it because I was in a small town mm-hmm. where these types of ideas were pervasive, but it never made sense to me. Like, it never made sense to me because the same people that I knew that would say bad things about, gay and lesbian and back then that's what we mostly would call it. Somebody that would say something bad about that would also be the friendliest person on the planet to everybody else that was like them.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't make sense to me how that works in their head. Like, how do you correlate that and make that happen? How
do you make that work?
Right. Yeah.
How do you reconcile that?
Why does this person deserve hate while other people don't?
Right.
Like, I don't understand the line that calls for that. And I think it has to do with being scared of differences and maybe scared of ideas that you have yourself, I
think that's a lot of it too.
Yeah.
Is unrecognized homoerotic feelings or maybe being uncomfortable in your own skin.
Sure.
And not knowing that that's normal.
Right.
And that it's okay to have questions.
Right.
And you were shut down, so you feel like you need to shut other people down.
Right.
Which you don't have to do that. We don't have to do that anymore. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
I mean, 2025 could have been really cool,
Yeah.
You didn't have to ruin it.
Right.
It's okay to come out. You can come out. You can ask your questions. You can get online and ask questions. You can get in touch with people and ask questions. You could go to the library and ask a librarian these kinds of questions.
Honestly, the question I want to ask the people on the right that say these things are, what is the harm that comes from it? What is, and I know you're going to say children. You're going to say children. You are.
Mm-hmm.
But let's
why,
get past that. Let's get past that, right?
But why are you more concerned about crotches than guns?
Right. Yeah.
Honestly. If you are so worried about children, why are school shootings okay? Why?
Right. Like maybe just be like, if I were trans, how does that affect you? How does that?
Well, when you get the super religious, then they say, well, that's the devil. And how do you argue with, like,
You don't.
You don't.
Say, well, I guess we're just going to have to stop talking about this.
Because you're an idiot. Like, I mean, somebody who goes there cannot be talked down.
Right.
Because they believe in the devil. They believe in the actual devil.
There are good people that don't hate the LGBTQIA community that believe in the devil. So I'm not going to say that that's the defining line of whether you can talk to them or not.
But if they equate the queer community with the devil, there's no conversation to be had.
Right. Yeah,
because
you're not.
They don't just believe in the devil.
The walk there is too long.
Yes. It's definitely too long for me. God bless your little heart if it's not too long for you, you know?
Yeah.
I do want to point out that words like contagion and disease have always been used to other people that are different. And we've always used it, like the Nazis used it against the Jews when they, you know, said things like that they were dirty or that I forget the words that were used, but it's
what, you don't study Nazi speeches?
I really don't.
Okay.
I don't. I mean, there's a lot of things I don't study. You could always reach out to Stephen
Miller, see if he
what's that word that you like to say about Jews again? I mean, I don't study a lot of things.
His name's Stephen.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
he is Steve. Huh.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to say though that saying that people are dirty or that they are diseased or a contagion, like those are not new terminologies. Those are not new ways of othering people and dehumanizing them so that we can harm them.
Right.
Because if they're not really human and they are kind of grody, then that somehow makes us feel like it's okay to bully them and be mean.
Right.
And it's not okay.
Right.
What is something else Stephen Miller might say?
I feel like these kind of go together here, so I'm gonna smush them together.
Okay.
God made them male and female. It's sinful.
Oh, you missed one. Or maybe I missed it. The mental illness thing.
It was not. Yeah.
No, that was part of the last one. I took it
back. Yeah, that was the first one.
Was the last one, and I didn't cover it. So that's on me.
Okay.
Yeah. The mental we'll get to the one you just said. Sorry, but I do want to address the mental illness thing.
Yeah.
Because as a person with mental illness, I'm like, hey, fuck you. Like, you don't get to just say anything you don't like is mental illness.
Yeah, and I got news for you. The people that I know that are part of the LGBTQIA community, especially ones that have accepted and live a regular life that is not trauma based. You know, like they are some of the more healthy mentally people that I know, like they
and if they do have mental illness, it's anxiety and depression from all the bullying that they fucking received from you, Stephen Miller.
Right. Yeah. Or Uncle Steve.
Yeah. Like you fucking caused any mental illness that they have, and it's not because they're part of the queer community.
Right. No, that's, if anything, part of what would help them recover from that. Because they did find their community.
They found their people, which is so great. When you say something is a mental illness that's not, you're basically saying, I want a label that lets me stop empathizing, as if you started empathizing in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with regard to like the social contagion.
It lets you off the hook in your own mind.
Yeah.
It makes you feel like you have the moral high ground, even though you don't.
Say ugly thing and you don't have to worry about empathy. And moreover, Charlie Kirk said you shouldn't be empathetic anyway, so...
well, that's why I don't feel sorry for him. Oh, anyways. Like moving right along. Here's the thing, though. Even if this was a social or a mental illness, like a mental health issue, it's not. But let's say that just for a second, just for the sake of argument, that it is. The right response to somebody with mental illness is not bullying and being cruel. It's compassion. It's not ridiculing people.
Right.
It's not bullying them.
Yeah.
It's empathy.
Right.
So even if you were right, which you're not, you're still doing it wrong.
Yeah, you know that thing that Trump did to the reporters when he was, calling them the R word?
Yeah.
That's not okay.
Or when he was mimicking the guy that had the stutter, or the inability to control his arm, like some kind of palsy that he had, I think.
Right.
Like mimicking him in a cruel, mocking manner.
Yeah, that stuff is not okay.
That's not okay. That's mean. That's bullying. That's cruelty.
Yeah, and unfortunately, cruelty and meanness is being normalized by our president right now, which is really, really fucking sad for our country.
It was always going that direction, but at least like you could call it out.
Yeah.
And now it's becoming more just the norm. And that's why shooting boats that don't even, without even trying the people aboard, like, oh, we just do murder now.
Yeah.
We're just mean to everybody. We just do murder. We just, we see people that look like they're from another country, even though they're not, because they have brown skin, and we just, punch them or whatever.
Yeah, being at war with a country in South America was not on my bingo card for this year.
No. It really was not. But yeah, he's normalizing all kinds of cruelty and murder, and it's just not okay.
Yeah.
Labeling people to dismiss them doesn't help anyone. It gives permission to be cruel, and I don't want to be cruel.
Sure.
I don't understand cruelty.
Yeah.
It really hurts my heart, and I don't have words for it even.
Yeah.
I don't know, just things that you could say to Uncle Stephen Miller at your dinner table are like, we're not going to discuss someone else's identity as though it's a fucking courtroom exhibit.
Right.
Which I kind of like that. Like, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
We're not doing hot takes. We're not doing dissections of who's allowed to have sex with whom over dinner.
Right. Right.
That's a hard no. New topic.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. We could talk about gas prices, except that we can't, because then you'll just go on and on about fucking Biden, because you still give him power almost a year later.
Yeah.
You fucking fool. Other things is, I'm not going to be part of any conversation that dehumanizes people.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to memorize these for myself.
Sure.
Because there's an Uncle Steve that might be at our table. And I want to be able to say these things. Yeah. Like, we're not doing that. We're not going there.
Right.
You're not going to say that.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to get up and leave.
Right.
And if you're okay with that, fuck you.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, drop it or I'm leaving kind of thing.
Right.
I also let's talk about literally anything else. Travel, work, gifts, movies, golf, horses, what? Yeah. Go. Paint.
Flavor of water.
Eyelashes, ice cream.
Yeah.
Buttons, shirts.
That's a neat mug.
3D printer, anyone? Like, Jesus Christ, anything. And, it's just so...
I think you should stop by a store on the way to the dinner, and you should get a coloring book, and you should be like, hey, let's start coloring instead.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah.
There's that lady on YouTube. She's like a kindergarten teacher, and she has started doing these, a couple years ago, I think. She started doing these shorts where she addresses the right or President Trump as though it's a kindergarten stupid. I said stupid, but a kindergarten student is what I meant to say. That was a Freudian slip. I apologize to everybody who's in kindergarten. But she talks to them as though they are in kindergarten and says things like, oh, Aunt Nancy, catch a bubble, which, is use your mouth to catch a bubble. Like,
yeah.
So you're being quiet now.
Right.
Like, you need to catch a bubble, Aunt Nancy. You're saying something rude and we don't want to be like that. And then she's like, I know you have big feelings about that and we can talk about it, but not at dinner. That's mean. That hurts people's feelings. You don't want to be mean. And I just fucking love her. She's so funny, and it really breaks it down to the heart of it. You know, like, you're a child with a child brain.
Right.
You have big, scary feelings and you don't know where to put them. So you put them on everybody else.
Yeah.
You're grody. Okay, now you can go on with the next thing that Uncle Steve says.
Okay, I'm combining two here. So God made them male and female. It's sinful.
Yeah, he would say that, wouldn't he?
Right, yeah.
The male and female, Eve and Steve, not.
I mean, really, God made, if you want to take the Bible literally, God made, man out of dirt and then Eve from Adam's rib.
I guess.
Like bone, I guess. But whatever. It's bullshit.
Right.
So you're starting with a story from bullshit to begin with to explain something that you really have no business talking about because you have no idea of how any of this. You've not done any research. Right. You're just pulling shit out of your ass, and God is the last stop of pulling shit out of your ass.
Well, I also want to know why the fuck you're using a family that was incestuous as the model. Because literally, it's some Jewish traditions that the boys had some sisters that they fucked.
Yeah.
They're not in the Bible, though. So let's say that they don't exist because they're not in the Bible.
Sure.
That means they fucked their mom.
Right.
So you're literally using a mommy fucker as your fucking example of how we should be. I don't want to fuck my daddy, and my husband doesn't want to fuck his mommy.
Right.
So we're going to not use Adam and Eve as our examples because they were incestuous grossnesses.
Right.
Okay?
And really, we should be able to agree that that was just a story.
It's an origin myth story, and it's beautiful if we could just let it be the myth story origin that it is, like every other myth story of every other myth and legend.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't apply this directly to today because you're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong.
Even if you are a Christian and want to believe in God and all that, you're still doing it wrong. This is not, I know some of them take it literally, but this is one of those stories that should not even remotely be taken literally.
Well, if you take it literally, you have to account for incest.
Right. Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I will never let that go ever.
Yeah.
That you are pro-incest.
Right.
Yeah. You can't have it both ways. If you take it seriously and you take it literally, you have to accept incest.
Right.
You have to.
Yeah. Sure.
So fuck off.
Yeah. Right.
So when Steve says that God made them male and female, even if you believe that, it doesn't authorize you to be full of contempt toward people. Yeah. Because love your neighbor doesn't come with a fucking asterisk.
Right.
There is no footnote.
At the very least, the idea of judging your neighbor is not something that is for you to do.
Right.
It's for God to do.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's not, you're not the one that gets to determine whether they're right or wrong or bad or good. That's not your job.
I know that you think it is, Uncle Steve. I know that you want to, but you're being gross.
It's really not your job whether you're Christian or not.
Yeah.
It's not your job to judge other people's right and wrongs. Yeah. You can choose not to be a part of their life. Mm-hmm. That's your choice.
Sure.
But you don't get to tell them that they are wrong. That's not your choice. That's not your job. Yeah. That's not, and they certainly don't have to listen to you.
No. And reducing a complicated human life to a one-line slogan, like a fucking bumper sticker, that is not spiritual wisdom, okay?
Right.
That's just being stupid and adopting a one-liner that you heard on Fox or you heard at church.
Right.
As far as it being sinful, even if you think something's a sin, the command isn't, so go publicly shame people. The command, again, is to just love your fucking neighbor and mind your own fucking soul. Stay in your lane. Yeah. You don't get to lead other people to heaven.
Right.
I know that you have this whole witnessing thing that you like to do and you think that it's your job. I'm here to tell you it's fucking not. Right. You don't lead people to heaven. God leads people to heaven.
Yeah.
And that's only if you believe in that shit, which I don't.
Right.
But I'm going to play your game with your words,
Right.
Jesus wasn't obsessed with controlling people's bodies. The religious leaders were. And Jesus was not happy about that.
That didn't work out very well.
No, he was not thrilled with that.
No, I'm just saying in more recent history.
Yeah. Jesus is not a fan.
No.
Is all.
I'm not a fan of how the religious leaders handle this shit. It's not great.
Moreover, if your theology requires you to be mean to a minority group in order to feel righteous, that theology is fucking wrong and it's a problem.
Yeah.
Like, what makes you think that being mean is okay?
Right.
Here's another thing. We've said this before. I'm just going to repeat it, and I'll probably repeat it again. Trans people are real. They exist.
Yeah.
They are here, and they're just trying to fucking live.
Yeah.
They're just trying to survive, and you don't have to understand it. You don't have to.
Right.
It's okay. They're here whether you understand it or not.
You don't even have to like it.
Right.
But you could try not to be hateful.
That's the bare fucking minimum. Is don't be a dick.
You could try not to damage people.
Right.
That would be a good start.
It really would. You could just don't be a dick.
Right.
I'm not even asking you to be nice. Just don't be a dick.
Right.
Yeah.
What's it that we used to get told? If you don't have anything nice to say,
don't say anything at all.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that applies very, very much to this current society we live in.
Yeah.
Like, just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, Stephen Miller, shut the fuck up.
Right.
Like, I don't think I'd be allowed to say that at our dinner table because I don't think that the person on the receiving end of that would care for that very much.
But it'd be fun because it's pulling a saying from their time and applying it to them.
Because it's always a boomer. It's always a fucking boomer.
Right. Yeah.
And when they go off saying, like, I'm just being honest, that's my favorite. Because I'm like, no, you're not just being honest. You're being a dick.
Right.
You're being mean. And even if you think you're being honest, like, being honest doesn't give you license to be cruel. It just fucking doesn't.
Yeah.
And there are trans people in this house, in this living room, and you are being mean.
Yeah.
You are making them feel unsafe. And you are making me feel angry because now I got to step up and say something, and everybody's got to look at me like I'm the asshole for speaking up and stopping you from being mean.
Hey, I spoke up at your parents' house.
No, you did. I know. It's just frustrating that, like, when a fucking boomer says some shit, everybody just gets real quiet, and it's always like, oh, just let them. That's the way they are. And I'm not here for that. I'm not for it.
Yeah.
I'm not here to change them and try to teach them to be better, but I'm not going to sit there and let them talk that shit. I'm just not.
Right.
It's horrible.
Yep.
Especially when, we have people in our fucking family that applies to.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead with the next one. It's my favorite.
Okay. I can't keep up with the pronouns.
Oh, I love that one. You can learn the word fucking quinoa, but you cannot keep up with pronouns. Okay. And anyway, nobody's asking for perfection. Like, we've talked about this ad nauseum. Like, we still misgender our child.
Sure.
I misgender celebrities. I misgender a lot of things, a lot of people.
But we generally catch ourselves, or try to.
I try to, and when I'm corrected, I feel horrible and I apologize, because it's not about getting it right. It's about trying, and it's about respecting people, and it's about accepting people, and intention matters.
And we're getting a lot better at it. If you just continue to try to be correct as much as possible, it gets easier.
It does. It's especially good because me and you help police each other.
Right. Like, except for the pronouns in First Maccabees.
Oh, fuck Maccabees. Honestly, those Maccadoodles can go fuck themselves. They suffer from pronoun abuse.
I will say it right now. I can't keep up with those pronouns.
No, I can't either. But that's not really what we're talking about. But no, it's true. It's fucking true.
Sorry, that's relevant. If you're not following along with our regular podcast, that's what we're reading right now, and it's relevant. I promise.
Yeah. It's true too. Like, you can learn somebody's nickname, but you can't learn that they go by a different pronoun now.
Right. Yeah.
Like, you can learn Dr. So-and-so's name, but you can't learn.
Well, you and I have been talking a lot about pronouns, and because of the society we live in now, and where we are trying to be more respectful on the left to other people, who have
to everybody.
Yeah. And we have decided that we think that it's better to refer to people as they, them, before you know. Like, if you don't know, they, them is an easier way. Like, it's in my opinion, it's more respectful.
It is more respectful because then they can, it allows them to give them the opportunity to address how they want to be addressed.
Yeah.
And, you know, then you've let them know by saying they, them, you've let them know right off the bat, I'm a safe person and I will go whichever way you want.
Yeah. And our kid actually has a saying that they say all the time, don't assume my gender, you know. And
well,
so,
what's really funny is they used to say that when they were younger as a joke. And then when they came out, it was like, oh, okay, that actually applies now.
Right. Well, it may be applied then too, but we,
you know, we didn't know.
Right.
But we were the first peoples that they told.
Yeah.
And that's because we allowed that space for them.
Right.
And so here we are today, and, you know, it's cool.
Yeah.
There's a person at my work who isn't out at work as trans.
Yeah.
And so I had to ask how to refer to this person at work versus outside of work.
Yeah.
Because I know them in both places.
Right.
And, you know, I understand that it's like really, really wrong and harmful and hurtful to use somebody's dead name, which is the name that they no longer want to go by or the gender that they no longer want to use.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to either out them at work when they weren't ready for that or to hurt them by using the wrong thing because I'm trying to be safe and protect them at work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, you know, that conversation, just asking the question shows that I care. It shows that I'm safe and that I want to get it right.
Yeah.
Obviously I couldn't get it right. You know, I couldn't because I don't know.
Right.
It's okay not to know.
It's okay to ask.
It's okay to ask. It's okay not to know. And you know what? It's okay if the trans person or the trans person or queer person or whatever person, it's okay if they don't feel like taking on the emotional baggage of answering that question.
Right.
You know, everybody has the right to ask questions and everybody has the right to not answer questions if they don't feel like fucking answering.
Right.
But this whole, I can't remember people's genders. Yeah, you actually can because you have all your life.
And you're choosing not to.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, you know, husband's mom is a prime example of somebody, she's a boomer, right?
Yeah.
But she's so wonderful because she gets it wrong like 90% of the time. But bless her heart, she actually cares and tries and wants to be better.
And she almost always apologizes when she remembers she got it wrong.
Yeah. And because of that, we almost never even correct her anymore because we're like, she's old. It's cute. and kid is okay with that because kid knows their heart.
Yeah.
And kid is like, meh.
Yeah.
I'm not going to yell at grandma. She's great.
Right.
You know, she supports me.
Yep.
Now, conversely, my parents are not supportive and they misgender intentionally because it's against their religion.
Right.
And kid has likewise, I'm not going to correct them either because it's not fucking worth the time. It's not worth my emotional labor.
Right.
It's not worth losing the relationship. But that's kid deciding in both places for entirely separate reasons.
Yeah.
That it's okay to get it wrong. You know?
Yeah. So
the point is, nobody is asking you to remember everything, although you fucking can because you already do.
Right.
We're asking you to give a shit, to be nice, to try. Just fucking try.
Yeah.
Learn. Fucking learn. It's not hard.
Right.
Ugh. All right. Sorry. Go on. What else would Steve say?
Okay. You can't even say Merry Christmas anymore.
Oh, I love we saved this one for last.
Yeah.
What that actually means is I'm uncomfortable that I'm not automatically the default position.
Right.
What's really cool though is like if they're like, I can't even say Merry Christmas anymore. You can actually respond. You literally just said it and no nuclear weapons went off. So, you know, you said it loud too. So I think you're good.
Yeah, you can say it as much as you want.
Yeah.
I don't understand what gives them the right to police whether or not I say Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays.
That's what they're really mad about. They think that they're being told not to say Merry Christmas because it hurts their feelings that Happy Holidays is more inclusive.
Yeah.
And if Happy Holidays is better and more inclusive, that means that they're being mean and they're being told, you're kind of being mean when you just say Merry Christmas. It's not bad. It's just not the best.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Like, nobody's going to be mad that you said Merry Christmas, but if you're asking me the honest question, it's not the best. It's not inclusive.
Right.
So, yeah, you're not giving the best greeting.
Yeah.
And that hurts their heart. It's like if you call a racist. They want to be racist without being called racist.
Right.
You know, it's the being called out as not nice is worse than the actually not being nice.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're just mad that you told them, I want to use the more inclusive. I want to be nicer.
Right. Right.
And if I'm being nicer, that automatically means you're not being nicer.
Yeah. This whole thing was contrived by Fox News, basically. Mm-hmm. It's not really a thing.
It's not a thing. Nobody ever said, like, you can't.
Everybody I know that's on the left, they're like, where the fuck did this come from? Why does everybody think there's a war on Christmas?
Yeah.
And I think it's because somebody at Starbucks once said that they should say Happy Holidays or something, maybe. And I'm not even sure that's true.
No, it's because they had put Happy Holidays on their cups
right,
instead of Merry Christmas to be more fucking inclusive.
Right. Which shouldn't be a problem if you're empathetic and care about other people.
Right.
But you know what? Apparently right-wing Christians don't care about other people.
But what's really funny is that I don't even know that they were being inclusive so much as that they were like, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, the holidays, holiday season.
Right.
Happy holiday season. Like, they weren't even, I think, trying to include things like Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or all the other holidays. No, I know. It's just really funny that I think that they were like, oh, that's not, okay, yes, I was definitely trying to be inclusive.
Sure.
Yes, totally. And then, the Christians were like, see? And it's like, yeah, those fuckers for being nice.
Right.
I hate that for you, Uncle Steve.
Yeah. I think CNN should start calling it the war on empathy, the war on compassion, the war on love. On kindness,
yeah.
The war on kindness.
The war on hearts. The war on being nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what this is.
It is. It really is.
You want us to, by default, be assholes.
Right.
You Christians who want us to say Merry Christmas to everybody, you want us to be assholes.
Yeah.
And you don't give a fuck who we're offending by saying Merry Christmas. You just think that we should all say Merry Christmas. Because that's what you believe. Because you are offended for some fucking reason.
Right.
And I can't quite figure that out. But
you can say Merry Christmas. I'm not telling you not to. It's fine.
Right.
I don't, it's not the most inclusive, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel insulted when somebody tells me Merry Christmas. I'm like, oh, it's that time of year. Happy holidays.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
I never feel insulted.
Yeah.
But I almost always say Happy Holidays.
Yeah.
Not as like a meanness, not to be spiteful. It's just
because it is more inclusive, because it's more empathetic.
Well, and moreover, because I'm not Christian.
Right.
So, and I've really become kind of meh about Christmas as a whole.
But like, okay, let's say that you and I were the only two atheists in the whole planet that we knew that didn't believe in this God that existed. I would probably still say Merry Christmas because everybody else says Merry Christmas, right? If that's what the whole world decided and we literally knew nobody else except for us in this small group of people who didn't believe in God, right?
Yeah.
I might decide, because that's the general agreed upon method of greeting at that time of year, to say that. But you know what? It's not even the agreed upon method.
Right.
We have happy holidays. We have other people of other denominations that say different things like Happy Hanukkah or Happy Kwanzaa or Happy Festivus or whatever the fuck it is you celebrate.
Happy winter solstice.
Right. Yeah. So we don't agree.
Right.
We just don't. And especially, it depends on what country you're in to what degree we do or don't agree beyond that. Like some places, nobody says Merry Christmas, probably.
Right.
But here we are arguing about this in our country about we're trying to get rid of the term Merry Christmas, and it's just not true. We're just being more inclusive in this melting pot that is the United States, that we are trying to incorporate everybody's feelings and ideas and trying to be open to the fact that other people might not celebrate the same way we do.
I don't see the problem with that.
I don't either.
But then I am not Christian, so
right.
I would have to try really hard to be hateful.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I'm not cut out for Christianity.
No, I can't summon enough hate in my heart for that.
No, right? I mean, how does the saying go? God save me from your followers.
Right.
Or God protect me from your followers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see why.
Right.
Other things that you could say is Merry Christmas confirmed, the Republic survives, which I really like. Or if saying it is illegal, you just committed a felony in front of the gravy. Are you okay?
Right.
Like, should I call 911? Like, ooh. Or, you know, instead of like being ridiculous and silly about it, you could be like, nope, not doing the war on Christmas thing.
Right.
Pass the green bean casserole, which is gross. I hate green bean casserole. Can we fight about that instead?
There you go.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, people either love it or hate it, and I hate it. How do you feel about green bean casserole?
It depends. I've liked some. I've not liked others. So
I think it's the most disgusting thing on the planet. It's the wrong kind of green beans. It's those skinny, floppy, I think it's the French cut.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. They're gross. And then you put like that fucking snot in it. and then you put fucking, I don't know, crunchy boogers on top of it.
Those are good. Those are part I like.
No, the whole thing is disgustoid.
Yeah, right.
Going back though to the war on Christmas.
Yeah.
Christians aren't persecuted in America because a cashier says happy holidays.
Nope.
That is totally not what persecution fucking looks like. And we can show you if you like, because I can come up with a pair of handcuffs and shit.
Sure, yeah.
I would love to persecute you.
I would wager that the people that you're not allowed... We are, you and I are atheists. Other people are Muslim in this country. Other people are Jewish in this country. Other people are lots of different things that they're not, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I would wager that they are much more put upon with regard to their religion than any Christian in this country is.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, you and I don't feel safe telling people where you work, where I work. We don't feel safe telling some of our extended family members, a lot of the people that we know, our neighbors, that we're atheists.
Right.
We're not comfortable with that. We don't feel safe. We feel like it could be dangerous to us or our kid or our cars
or
our windows or our livelihood. Yeah.
Right.
So when you talk about persecution, you want to be real fucking careful with that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even saying I'm being persecuted.
Right.
But I think I'm a lot fucking closer to it than any goddamn Christian in America.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
In the Bible, persecution is imprisonment, violence, poverty, and exile. Not someone used a generic greeting at like Target or Starbucks.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, fuck off.
Right.
Fuck off. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. You know? Yeah. Look, we all said it. There. Do you feel better? Do you need me to change your diaper? Like, Jesus. I don't know. I'm just so fed up with Uncle Steve. Stephen Miller is gross.
Right.
But what's the next thing Steve might say at the table?
They're trying to erase Christmas.
Are they though?
No.
Christmas seems to be doing just fucking fine, Uncle Steve.
It really does.
It's in every store from like October to New Year's.
Yeah.
This year I started seeing it out in September. I think Christmas is fine.
Yeah, I think there's even stuff like Christmas in July.
Yeah,
you know, so
there is.
It keeps extending itself all over the fucking calendar.
Yeah, well, I mean, there is no such thing as Black Friday anymore because now it's
I think that was more because people got trampled to death, but yeah.
No, it was because stores had to get in on the sales, and so they kept pushing back their... Like, at first it was 6 o'clock in the morning, Black Friday. Then it was pushed back to 3 a.m. Then it was midnight. Then it was, now it's a week before.
That was part of it.
A week before Black Friday is not Black Friday, y'all.
Right. That was part of it. But also the bonus was they aren't going to get sued for people dying in their stores to go get a fucking
towel.
Doll.
A towel.
Whatever. Right. Yeah.
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 Because Those are the best deals. The towels.
Sure.
Christmas is fine. It killed all the other fucking holidays in the happy holiday season.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. If your faith crumbles because someone says happy holidays, it really wasn't fucking faith, was it? It was just cultural entitlement.
Yeah.
So you're kind of an asshole, Uncle Steve.
Right.
And it sounds like maybe, Uncle Steve, that you miss the feeling of being culturally centered. And that makes me really sad for you. But other people existing doesn't erase your traditions.
Yeah.
You can still, there's this thing in Ohio. I don't know if other people do it. I think it's like German, where there's a pickle decoration and they hide the pickle decoration in the tree.
Yeah.
And whoever finds the pickle decoration, I don't know, they get some fucking prize or some shit. Like, I don't know how it works, but there's a pickle decoration.
Right.
And I'm not from Ohio. I just live here.
I didn't know about it till I was an adult, even though my mom's the one that told us about it.
Yeah.
But that was new to me.
Was it really?
Like, oh, yeah.
I had heard of it before then.
I hadn't.
But I had never had a pickle till your mom gave us one.
Right.
And it's like, oh.
Yeah, I didn't know
now we
anything
have
about
a hide the pickle. Hide the pickle. Yeah, we did. That's what she said. So you can still do your little traditions.
Yeah.
Like some people have a tradition where they open all their presents on Christmas Eve night. That's fun for you. Right? Yay. When we were kids, my sister and I got to open one present on Christmas Eve, and my parents picked it out, and it was always pajamas, Christmas pajamas that we could wear to bed Christmas Eve night.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's fun. Another tradition is leaving out milk and cookies for Santa.
Sure.
You know, another tradition, like in our family, our stockings that were hung by the chimney with care, they had peanuts. My parents would put peanuts in the toes to fill in that.
We did that for years too.
See, I had never heard of anybody else who did that.
No, I meant you and I did that for years too.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant
with our kids when they were younger.
Of course we did, because I was like, no, that's what we do. And you're like, I've never heard of it, but okay. Right. Sounds good to me.
And we weren't as solid in our, atheists. I mean, we were still atheists.
Well, our kids were little too.
Yeah, they were little, and it was just, you do Christmas, so we did it. And we hadn't really like solidly looked at our atheism at that point.
We still would have done Christmas for the kids.
Sure.
And we still would have put peanuts in the stockings.
But if we started having a kid right now, we might make it more science-based or something. Like there might be something more to it.
Yeah. We would still celebrate Christmas, but we would celebrate it a lot different. But there would still be a stocking and there would still be peanuts in the toe.
Sure.
I'm telling you that right now for a fact.
No, that's fine.
But we're not having a baby right now.
No, obviously.
Because I'm so done with having babies.
Well, yeah.
I mean, A, I can't.
Right, yeah.
But B, I would not want to. Right. I'm so done raising children. Oh my God. What's another Christmas tradition? Oh, you know what? Growing up, my mom always made orange Danish rolls. Yeah. And that way we could like snack on them for breakfast. And then for dinner, we always had like these finger food things that she would start putting out at like lunchtime. So we would go straight from the orange Danish rolls right into things like the cheeses and the crackers and the olives and the fruit tray and the veggie tray and all that, like meats and cheeses and stuff like that. Yeah. And so we just have like snacky foods all day. Yeah. And that was our tradition. Right. What did you have as a tradition? Besides ripping open the presents, because that's what you did. Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, that I mean, we definitely did the milk and cookies, and we did stockings, and we had regular stockings that we used every year. Mm-hmm, and my mom always got the wrong one set up for my brother and me. We had to correct her every year. Oh my gosh. So that's funny. My brother and I often found all of our presents before Christmas. So that was a thing. Yeah. I don't know. It was just normal Christmas. We had one year. It was all American probably Christmas. One of my favorite Christmases was we did a family Christmas where everybody crafted each other's gifts. And I thought that was kind of cool. So That would be fun.
Yeah, my mom actually I was really jealous. One of my cousins got a homemade chess set that my mom made with, and the pieces were clothespins that she had painted and stuff in like a red and green motif.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see you being jealous of that.
Well, yeah.
Because you're into the whole chessboard thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Keep going. What else would Steve maybe say?
But it's Christian America.
I love that one because it's not. It's not.
It is and it's not. It is and it isn't, I should say. So a lot of the founding fathers were Christian. But the idea of what Christianity was back then was much more of a clockmaker tradition. So there was like hands off. God.
Yeah.
And moreover, it was more about the freedom to express whatever religion they wanted to, which at the time was mostly Christian, right?
Sure.
But they didn't want to be told which version of Christianity they were allowed to. They didn't want it state mandated. They just came from a country where it was state mandated, the Church of England, like that's where a lot of this stemmed from, was the fact that this Church of England dictated a lot in their country. So they were like, no, we're not doing that. I mean,
that's why we have Protestants,
Right.
Basically.
Yeah.
They're like, let's just not, and let's have, separation of church and state kind of thing.
Right. No, and it was very important to us to keep them separate for the most part. Like things changed here and there over time in our country, and there's, we have things on our money that says under God, and we have, we. But
they meant it differently. They didn't mean it like, or else fuck you.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, no, it was definitely more separate. Well, the intent should be more separate. And then it was solidified in a couple of places like the Treaty of Tripoli, and like there's some things that solidify it in our early framework for our country. And that part is definitely not being upheld right now, but it is what it's
I feel like it was less weaponized. Christianity was less weaponized. Now it's people that don't even fucking believe, pretending they believe and using it as a cudgel.
Yeah.
And leading believers.
Right.
Leading them astray. Right. And that is not the way it was.
Yeah, I feel like that's a hard one to even discuss with people, because that's, if you're saying that to us, then there's so much of a distance between what your idea of this country is and my idea that I don't think we can possibly bridge that.
Yeah, Uncle Steve.
And it's time to just change this fucking subject.
Yeah, Uncle Steve. I'm about to throw some fucking decorations at you, Uncle Steve.
Yeah.
But even if most people celebrate Christmas, that still not everybody does.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people that don't, and that's okay, because this country that we live in allows for different traditions, and we don't have to only just mirror the one.
Right.
If you want your traditions respected, the best way to get that is to respect other people's traditions too.
Right.
Or merge them like you and I have merged some.
Sure.
Yeah. And we started some traditions that neither of us grew up with. Like, I loved the peanuts and the toes, and you were like, yeah, that's great, let's do that. But I also, ever since I first saw the movie Little Women, actually even before that, when I read the book Little Women, I loved that oranges were associated with Christmas. And so in my head, that movie and oranges are always associated with Christmas. I didn't grow up with oranges being associated with Christmas, but when we started doing our own, making our own tradition, in addition to the peanuts, I wanted oranges to be associated with Christmas. And so that's what we did every Christmas.
Yeah.
And we made our own traditions.
Yeah.
So, Uncle Steve, why don't you do that, stupid fuckface?
Right. And not worry about it.
Yeah. Right. Don't worry about it. What else might Steve say?
People are too sensitive.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah.
Oh, Steve, they're not too sensitive. You're not sensitive enough, you fucker.
That's the response you should give right there.
I mean, it really is.
Right, yeah.
It's not that everybody's too sensitive. It's that you are an asshole.
Yeah.
That's
the truth.
You want the right to be mean. You want the right to be cruel.
Yeah.
And you think that you get to just say whatever you want, even if it hurts people. And if it does hurt people, that's on them.
Right.
And it's like, no, that's absolutely not true, Uncle Steve.
Yeah.
Being furious at a polite greeting is, kind of being too sensitive. So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Like you're accusing other people of being snowflakes when actually you're kind of the snowflake here.
Yeah.
Bruh.
No one else is complaining. Just
right.
you.
Just you, Uncle Steve.
Right.
Yeah. And, we've said it before. It's okay to say Merry Christmas if you want to. You can say it.
Right. No one's going to stop you.
Yeah. Just don't turn it into a fucking crusade. You know?
Yeah.
Like, let people...
Please tell me if somebody tries to stop you from saying Merry Christmas. I want to know when and where this happened.
Yeah, and you know what? I will go yell at them. Like,
right.
Steve has the right to say Merry Christmas if he wants to.
Right.
He has the right to use the less inclusive greeting.
Yeah, I fully stand up for Steve's First Amendment right.
He is allowed to be less inclusive if he wants to.
Right.
He doesn't have to be inclusive. He's allowed to be a dick.
Right.
And I will stand up for his right to be a dick.
Right.
So you tell me if somebody actually told you, stop saying Merry Christmas.
Right. I want to know about it.
Yeah. I will go tell them it's fine to be a dick.
Right.
This is America.
But I had a sneaking suspicion what I'd find out is that they railed off, about Christmas before. Yeah. So
I have a feeling you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But ultimately, let's just let people greet each other how they want to and keep our traditions how we want to without making other people feel bad.
Right.
Like, no. All right, last one.
It's a war on Christmas.
I think we've about killed this one to death.
Yeah.
What you're basically saying is a stranger didn't mirror my identity and I took it personally. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you did, Uncle Steve.
Yeah, that stranger might not even be a Christian. I'm just saying. It's a possibility, Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you think that by yelling, you're showing him the beauty of God? Do you think that you're in the process of converting him?
Right.
Because what it looks to me like is you're a dick.
Yeah. Well,
and your religion sucks.
More than that, when you are this adamant about saying Merry Christmas and somebody says Happy Holidays to you, you literally are going to walk out of that store with hate towards that person.
Right.
How does that work in your Christian mind?
Right.
How does that work in this world where your religion is the only religion that matters and is supposedly a religion of love and peace, right? Mm-hmm. And yet somebody saying Happy Holidays in a nice way,
and they absolutely mean it,
makes you hate them, makes you dislike that person,
makes you mad.
Like, that is so fucking ridiculous.
Like, Uncle Steve, that's not very Christian of you.
Well, yeah, but I get sick of saying that. Right. It's just like, this is so absurd. Like, just ask yourself, how do you justify thinking that about that person when you have no idea why they said that and you just walk out hating them, disliking them,
right,
angry at them? Like, that's so counter to the whole idea of what I was taught that Christianity is. Mm-hmm. When I was younger, when people tried to pitch Christianity to me, it was always about peace and love and forgiveness and all this.
Which sounds great.
Sounds great until you start seeing shit like this.
Right. The snowflakes.
Yeah. They really are the crybabies.
They're so soft.
They have so many things that offend them that we have to tiptoe around them about everything.
Yeah. And because they're the louder, and everything that they say, feelings aren't facts except for my feelings are facts. Like, right. What?
No, and the second that we get as loud as them, they're
being persecuted.
Yeah. Right. No, it's absurd.
It is.
The whole thing.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Well, anyway, I think we've given you plenty of ammo to survive Christmas dinner. Or we had like 12. This was only like half of the stuff that we came up with. Mm-hmm. But obviously, this episode's like an hour and a half right now. Mm-hmm. And the last one was like an hour and 20 minutes. So I think we've done our fair share.
We've done some Christmas damage.
Yeah. So,
which I love. I'm here for it.
That being said, I really hope that you guys eat some really good food today.
And I hope that whatever holiday you celebrate or don't, that it is lovely and that it gives you a moment of peace and that you can take a minute to feel some joy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and that sounds lame, but I actually mean it.
And just know that when Uncle Steve goes off, you're not alone and being distraught that person exists at the table.
Because we have that too. We got that guy too.
We're all in this with you.
Yep.
So
we've got that guy at the table on Christmas, and then we've got it a week later when we celebrate Christmas with some more family, and they're there too.
Yeah.
So yeah, we feel you. We're with you. You're not alone.
All right, everybody. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
And we will see you next time.
Bye.
Hey, wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.